I had paid thousands to developers for an app for Masquerading, and it never materialized. The website itself was originally just an off-the-shelf template, a Joomla website. Ironically, it was a Facebook lookalike, which is quite funny because my website was called Masquerading. I was trying to make a square peg fit a round hole, and this Facebook style website wasn't working. I wanted something simple, something that just screamed stage and screen. I'm not using React, no heavy frameworks, just vanilla JS, Tailwind CSS, and Firebase. I needed speed and reliability. I wanted the Masquerading website to be on point. This is the moment. This is the time the vibe became a wireframe. So, almost a breaking point because I've waited 2 years for the Masquerading Pets website to be turned into an app. I've paid for it, paid for both of them, and unfortunately the team that work on the templates for the website, the ones who I paid to sort out this wraparound for the website to put it onto the App Store and eventually make some money from it, they've sat on that money for 2 years, saying they're having problems with recruiting developers, different issues with the different app stores, things like that. So this is quite emotional for me. So to keep the Google developer account, I obviously had to create an app. So it's in the process at the moment of waiting for Google to approve it or whatever they decide. It's a simple app. And in the meantime, I've turned to Gemini, told it exactly the situation. I uploaded my business plan, marketing plan, everything. It's had the whole lot, and explained about the website, key features, things like that. And it basically just came back and said, oh, you can pay for this person and get this developed, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, the only problem with all of that is I'm a divorced parent. I can't even talk. I'm a divorcee, single, 2 children to support still, and I'm on UK benefits. I'm doing this all with just no savings. This is just my income. I'm having to stretch it across still keeping and maintaining the property in France, which is empty because my ex won't allow me to sell it, looking after my 2 children as well. So I'm also covering the bills and everything on this rented place in the UK, when technically my home is in France, but I can't access it, can't even go back to it. And I'm putting any spare cash into this business. And I said, look, can we at least do a basic app to get something out there? He said yes. Gemini said yes. And the developers haven't been able to. Sorry, this is beyond belief. I cried. Not because it was perfect, but because it was alive. Bloody got it. I've got an app. I've got the arena, the chat. I've got events, the local list, details, and I have the profile. Needs a bit of tweaking and editing, but I've got it. Seeing everything in front of my eyes that I had been praying for, paying for, and nothing ever materialised. It felt like I'd finally crossed the finish line. But don't get me wrong, it wasn't an easy journey. From finding out that I was diagnosed with a recurrence of breast cancer, I chucked myself into designing and developing Masquerading. So I've spent quite a while, I won't say how many days, trying to sort out the layout for the events, and I've just had to offload all my headaches into a message to Gemini. I've just basically said I'm trying to keep it in theme with Masquerading,
people and characters in costume and attending events. The events grid is good because it can catch people's eyes with the images of the events happening. The events map is good because it can catch people's eyes with the location that they may not have thought of attending an event at. I'm trying to catch the different groups of users. Some will be drawn to a location, but they may not spot it in a grid, whereas others are no good with locations and would want just a visual just to see if it's a Comic-Con or an anime event. We've yet to get onto the filtering for this if it goes large with multiple events at multiple locations, but on different dates. So we'll need to add in filtering. I think what I'm trying to say is, and it said about 3 different options for doing these events in the app. I think what I'm trying to say is option 3 is going to be the best. We need things to be clean and simple and offer users 2 different options for viewing the events. Of course, they can always search for a particular name and an event. And I did start working on that before the whole version crashed, where it would check and verify if there was a similar named event on the same date and the same location to stop duplicates. So I'll just show you where we're at the minute. Let me just go into events and I'll just flick the screen round. So at the minute we've got the events screen and I can click on the map, and this is what I've always wanted. And you've got your little pin and you can then click on view details and it comes up with the details. You can edit the event because I've obviously made it. Sorry, I'm wobbling my phone everywhere. You can add it to your calendar. You can see who else is attending. And if I choose I'm not attending, then obviously that's going to go back to green to say I'm attending. So that's the maps view, and then the grid is not looking very good. But what we did was, because we've made it responsive, it should change size depending on the size of the mobiles. So on a laptop or a PC, it looks perfectly fine. Sorry, I've done it again. I'm just so tired with this. So it looks great, like I say, on a laptop. And then if I go and slide it in a little bit narrower for maybe a different device, or if I actually come up here and I choose like a small iPhone, no, it just doesn't look right. And if I put it to, I don't know, the one I was doing, the Galaxy folding one, no, it still ain't right. Or the S20 I think was a better one. But yeah, so it's not working, and we've worked out it's because it's trying to do too many things in the screen at once. So it wants to do the maps view and keep it there, and also allow for the sizing of that one in the background as well. But then when it becomes narrow for a mobile phone, it's just not working. The maps view is obviously my baby. It's how I've always wanted it. So yeah, just gonna have to put it on a separate menu, but all's good because we have a nice menu system here now. And in a few minutes time, you'll see there's going to be a new menu called Events Map, or whatever I decide to call it.
Most people will probably go into some form of depression or isolate themselves. But I was already in business mode in my head, and I needed to stay focused. So by coding my Masquerading website meant I had something clear in front of me. I had a purpose. I had a reason to continue on. I could switch off from all of the appointments, from blood tests, mammograms, CT scans, body scans, absolutely everything, bone scans, which is the most scariest one going. I just kept focusing on what it was I needed to get done.
Only I can do this. So I had to create a God type account for verification purposes, and I just thought I deleted it by mistake. I hadn't. I'd actually deleted the Google authentication in the back end. And now there's a problem with signing up, because every user, even existing users, it thinks that you need to create a new character. So this is what it's just told me on screen. 1 second.
It's basically saying you do not need to fix the code. You just need to satisfy the app's requirement that every user, even God, needs a character.
You can only have this on Masquerading, can't you? So yeah,
I'm in some kind of perpetual loop here, and my God account, God even needs a character. Let me get back to it and see if I can fix it.
I went to a YouTube event at the Google offices at the end of October 2025, and I showed one of the YouTube managers that I know. He was blown away by the app, and he started saying things like, you must have a help desk system in there. You must have some way to record any feedback. So I went away and I added that in as well.
Just wanted to do a quick video because I went down to Google this week and I showed one of the managers, Charles, Masquerading app, and he was pretty impressed, I've got to say. So I had a few days off because I was so tired after London, and I'm just on at the moment chatting with Gemini again and trying to tidy up a few pieces in there that I wasn't happy with, but obviously functioned well, but I just didn't like the look of. So I've just asked it to redo what was called the Masquerading as modal, and we've now come up with an idea that we're going to call it a casting sheet, and I just want to show you what it's come up with. How cool is that? I've got a slight problem that I'm asking it to look at because the coding it's given me doesn't quite match what I've got at the moment. Now, this is not as easy as it seems. Yes, I get that vibe coding is you just talk to it as though it's a person, but this links back to Firebase. This also links into other parts of the system and the database, and it's also dependent on other things because it's just come back with some coding for me saying that to implement this, I have to make these changes. So as you can see, I've got to go in, I've got to update part of the coding so it can actually come up with a list of other characters that the person is masquerading as. This is why this is a bit more involved than just creating like a little calculator or note app within any of these platforms. So I'm gonna crack on, get moving with this, and then I've got to take a screen break. I've been on this for a couple of hours and I've really got to start looking after myself. I can't keep burning out every day. I'm very excited doing it, don't get me wrong, but I also need a life. I think that's why I'm a bit tired from London, because I'm just not used to having any time off. So I'll be back soon. I have just had a real laugh with Gemini. So I've created a help desk app which links into the Masquerading app, and it's going to send the support tickets through to the DMs, so the direct monologues, to the users. And I've just gone in to test it and I said, oh, that's great, but can we now set up a new branch in GitHub so we can quickly fix the fact that we need a verified status, because the last thing we want is people masquerading as the Masquerading support team and confusing the hell out of the users. So that's what I'm working on next. Verified status, because I don't want anybody masquerading as masquerading. A bit unique, but if you know, you know.
I can't see the point of vibe coding something for a minimum viable product when you can vibe code absolutely everything to your heart's desire. And Cursor AI just ticked that box for me. It was there at the right time, and even though I was paying the $200 a month, trust me, a couple of times I did max out. I didn't allow it to go over the barrier of the threshold. So on those days, I switched to something else rather than Cursor. So from when I decided I wanted to attempt to vibe code my own web app, it was 9 months. But don't forget, I had to undergo surgery
and recover from breast cancer. Now, if I can do it, anyone can do it. But the tech is only half the battle. How do you actually pay for all of this and manage a multi-brand empire? Next video, I'm showing you the invoices and the secret admin help desk I designed.